Happy Sunday. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the book, The Alchemist. It's been around forever. I probably read it 30 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. But I kind of forgot what it was about. And I bought a copy for my granddaughter because, she's just exploring all of this. And what was interesting was I decided before I mail it off in a care box to her, I am going to read it again because I remembered some of it, but not the whole thing. It's about a shepherd who goes in search of his dream. And by the time I got to the end, and I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but the basic message of the book was that it's not in the end result, that it's in the journey. And so he goes through many experiences in his life through his journey in search of, and he kind of dismisses those experiences and is just waiting for that final, what is it? Where's the treasure? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? And it's really interesting. And so after I read it, it inspired me. It was like I was in a funk and I kind of needed to feel the vibe again. And all of a sudden, I did. And what I realized was, some of you know I'm getting ready to write my book. And there I said it out loud in front of all of you, so I'm committing. And it kind of brought me back there where I was looking at all the experiences I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, the wealth of knowledge that I've received for being in the experiences in my life have been amazing. Not to say that you haven't had your own experiences that are amazing, but mine have really been wow. Okay. And if I ever had a doubt that spirit wasn't working in my life, well, forget it. Dismiss that. Because the miracles that have happened along the way, the experiences, the people I've met, and it's just fascinating. So, I always set my sights up here. I'm going to look for what's the next big goal for me, right? And what I realized was, wow, even if I left this planet today, the soul growth, the personal growth, everything that I've gone through in this lifetime to teach me, the players in my life that have been major teachers, whether they're good ones or bad ones, brought me negative or positive experiences, just amazing. And I was able to really look at, wow, I went through this. And some of the highlights of renting the Great Pyramid in Egypt with my group and being able to go and lay in the sarcophagus, that is just an amazing experience that you can't even put into words. Being in Israel on the Sea of Galilee in this lifetime, having a vision of Christ where he spoke to me when I was with my group on the boat. I mean, those are how do you compare anything to that, right? But yet, on the personal level, delivering that first baby that you have, or buying a new pup, or whatever it is, everybody's had their experiences. And why should we put one, goal on one event, when it's the sum total of everything you've gone through in your life that has brought you to where you are now and who you are and who you're going to still become. So it kind of took me through journeying through all my experiences, going way back as a kid and what I went through and, how I got here. And so I thought, what a great review for my book, because I may not be able to tell you when I was 12, this is going on, but I would be able to tell you I went through this, and all of it. So if you are a reader, it's only 189 pages long. I read it on Sunday, or reread it. It's an easy read. It has a lot of juicy meaning in it, in its simplicity. So have at it. And continue. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is, every time we look for something greater, we're looking for the bigger boom, you know, like, oh my God, well, talking, you know, being on the Sea of Galilee with my group and talking to Jesus isn't big enough. I got to have something greater than that. And we set ourselves up for failure sometimes with that. So remember that, and just be aware that everything that's happened in your life is just as important and is leading you somewhere. So, all right. So we're going to move on to this new up and coming week. And I'm going to start with the Wisdom of Avalon. Whoops. With Colette Byron Reed. We've got a couple of her. Oh no, I put it back. Never mind. We only have one book, one deck of hers. Oh, I know what it was. I have two that are about England, two decks that I pulled out. And I always have to show this side because isn't that gorgeous? With the moon and the chalice. It's just beautiful. All right, so what is up and coming for us this new week coming up? The Swan, transformation, trusting the psychic gifts. Wow, look at that. And the swan is just so beautiful and just dances across the lake or the pond or whatever. Just has such beauty about her. All right, so let's see what this week wants to tell us about the swan. Oh, it tells you the number on it. Okay, 12. This card represents a transformation from one state to another, from the ugly duckling to the beautiful swan. This signals a period of growth that will ultimately be life-changing. What were we just talking about? The swan says that you may change so much that you may not even recognize yourself in the end. Most important, it's time to honor and love this change within yourself. For then, only the most beautiful reflection will shine back at you from the mirror of your life. The swan says, dive in. You will love who you become. It also reminds you that you need to trust your intuition and your gifts to guide you as you go through the process of wonderful and ultimate changes. The swan is the companion of the high priestess who has the ability to part the mists that serve to separate Avalon from the physical world. The swan can dive into the lake on her behalf and find treasure that human eyes cannot see, or cannot value. The swan reminds you to see with your heart, listen with your spirit, and the whole world can be magically transformed. So the other thing that comes to me, in case you don't know and you've never been to England or read any of those mysteries, Avalon is the beautiful place where all the goddesses go or did go to train and learn their gifts. And it, absolutely beautiful. It's at the top of the Tor, St. Michael's Tor, which you have to do 1,000,000 steps up to get there, or so it seems. And it's only visible to people that are of that vibration. So, interesting. I think I want to pull the other deck that has to do with England as well. Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. I got this in England. Isn't it beautiful? With her sword on her. That's just gorgeous. And she has the goddess sign on her head. All right. A new door is opening. Step over the threshold. How beautiful. I know there's a little, there we go. So when I look at this, this is beautiful. I think it's a hawk. Beautiful. And it looks like a goddess with a city in the background and just beautiful. Doors open to allow us the opportunity to reach our fullest potential. Do not fear unknown territory. And it just kind of gives you like who this was. In the 8th century, the Druid priestess Libuse foresaw Prague in a mystical trance. It is said this took place on the hill of her castle, a magical site that has been occupied since 3000 BC. She saw a castle whose renown touches the heavens. Its boundaries set by the waves in this place would be a man constructing a pra. This is translated as threshold. But it is also known to be a hollow dug in the center of European cities to contact them to the other worlds. There would then be a pra ritual performed by a Druid priest, aligning it to the four directions. This is how Prague got its name. Libuse, and if I'm saying it wrong, sorry, I'm not familiar with her, began the dynasty of Czech kings and represents the last of the Celtic matriarchal society. On her shoulder is a falcon. Oh, it's a falcon, symbol of Czech gymnast, strength and beauty. Her brooch commemorates entrance into the EU, which was a step over the unknown threshold for the country itself. Beautiful card. And I couldn't believe that. I didn't know that was a raven. All right. Doreen Virtue and Rodney Valentine, Angel Tarot. I think we're pulling two from here. All right, so the first one is 6 of air. Things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. Beautiful, mystical horses in the canoe there. I love the brightness of this card. And there's just layers and layers of horses here. Beautiful. 6 of air. Things are looking up, and the worst is now behind you. There's finally light at the end of the tunnel, and stress and strain will fade from your life. The winds of change are blowing, and it's a favorable wind. This is a good time for making changes in your career, home, or your outlook. Additional meanings of the card: a trip, the end of depression or an illness, the resolution of conflict, leaving and moving on. I have to tell you what's funny about that card. I've been going through a lot of transitions, some of you know, and birthing a new part of me, soon to be here. And this morning I woke up and I went, I feel different. Today I feel like everything's okay, like something lifted within me or around me, and I feel like, okay, I feel all right again. The Lovers is the next card. Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. And of course, we love Raphael since he's the angel of healing, right? We love, love, love Raphael. All right, it says this card signifies that a significant relationship is on your mind. It may be romantic in nature, or it may be an intimate but platonic friendship. Communication is key right now, and it's important to develop trust within the relationship. You can safely share your feelings with someone close to you. It's also time to make an important decision about your life. The conclusions you reach now greatly will influence your future. So it's important to weigh your options carefully. Make sure your choices are thoroughly considered and that you're able to act upon them. Yeah, a lot of times this is about two paths, two choices, whatever. Additional meanings of the card: the need for balance, a return to good health, marriage and weddings. And then a note: Archangel Raphael, in addition to being the angel of health and traveling, is the patron of soulmates. Raphael can help with significant relationships, including those of romance, friendship, business, and family. He can also help you manifest the soulmate partnership of your dreams. So we've probably been going, not we, but all of you have been going about it all wrong. You need to have Raphael if you're looking for the partner. Next one, the Oracle of E, Pam Grout and Colette Byron Reed. Oh yeah, that's where that came in. I thought I had 2 decks of hers. GPS. So to me, that just says like it is, that, following your GPS system, what your guidance is telling you, all of that. Whoop. OMG, your intuition is being a real show-off these days. It's so ready to help navigate your life, and quite frankly, it's getting a tad bit impatient. It just can't understand why, when if knows the fun, easy route. You insist on doing everything without its help. There's no need to be lost ever, especially now that you're about to stumble onto a gold mine. Ooh, seems like we're going to have a good week. One more of these. Pick up after yourself. I know it doesn't have much imagery for you to go off of with these. Pick up after yourself. The blame game is over. It's time to it's time to realize that the only person who can affect you in any way is you. Within your own mind is the answer to every question and the power to accomplish anything. Take charge. Be accountable, and let's do this thing. Yeah, that's a big one, being accountable, right? And the last one, which I haven't pulled in a long time, Mystical Wisdom card deck. Written by Gail Guthrie. Pull one. Good fortune. Invite magic in. What beautiful artwork. And you know what? Let's give credit to the artist. Art by Josephine Wall. Amazing artwork. Good fortune. Welcome to the magic of life. All good things are coming your way. You deserve your heart's desire, so allow yourself to feel good now. When you send out positive energy and are ready to receive, Providence gets into action. You don't need to understand how this happens. Just trust that the universe is at work and will rearrange itself to make the right things happen for you. After you have asked for what you desire, give thanks and trust that it will occur. And your mantra for the week is, I trust in the magic of life to fulfill my desires. Wow. Okay, so out of all these, we have one reminder not to get into the blame game. Everything else looks good. We've got the swan with transformation. We've got this beautiful goddess and the raven that's magical within itself, telling us a new door is opening. Also, we're, the end of a difficult situation, then making the right choices, then following our internal GPS, and stop blaming people, and then you come into good fortune. I think it's going to be a real good week. Let's pay attention to what's going on. And just something that I wanted to say as well, some of you that do Instagram saw that I put out prayers for the whole country with this chemical spill. So please continue with your prayers with the waterways, with the chemical spills, with the nuclear spill that happened over in Maui, and all the animals that have been killed as a result of things. Let's put out a lot of energy, and let's continue and see that through. Because what affects one affects all of us, that's for sure. All right, lots of love. Mwah. See you soon.